This is AEW Speedball Mike Bailey saying welcome to WrestleCast Radio.
Hey, this is Joe Doring. I'm here at world famous Corkin Hall.
What's going on? It's Sammy Guevara, the best ever.
Hi everyone, this is William Hung from American Idol, and you're listening to the WrestleCast Radio.
Hello there, this is the aerial assassin Will Ospreay coming from you live from the Tokyo Dome in Japan, and you are listening to WrestleCast Radio.
Digital media champion Joe Hendry here.
Hey, what's up guys from WrestleCast Radio? This is Humberto Carrillo.
This is Flip Gordon.
Hey, hello to all my friends of WrestleCast Radio.
This is Austin Theory, and you're listening to WrestleCast Radio all day.
Greetings and salutations to all the listeners of WrestleCast Radio. This is the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels.
What's going on? This is the man of the hour, Leo Rush. And you are officially listening to WrestleCast Radio.
With your boy, Two Cold Scorpio. Getting ready to open up this show live, right here on the WrestleCast Radio.
What's good? It's your boy, the coach from the WWE. There's a lot of wrestling shows out there. There's a lot of talking heads out there. But nobody says more with less than WrestleCast Radio. You may not always agree with what they say. You might not always agree with what they do. But the one thing you will do is listen. WrestleCast Radio is on the air.
Golden Phoenix is dead.
This is WrestleCast Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here back at you, episode 242. We're 8 away from 250, Alex. The number that we were slowly starting to go. Man, we were on the clear path, and god damn it, we may hit that before the year's over here.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. The consistency is key. What we pledged to do at the end of 2024, ironically enough. But hey, what better time than the present, the final quarter, if you will.
We have 4 reviews to get to tonight, as we had spoken about last week. Dragon Gate had their Gate of Destiny. I believe it was at Corkin Hall. I don't know why I'm missing what their... I think it was Gate of Destiny was the last show. Yeah, Gate of Victory. Gate of Victory. Excuse me. We have Gate of Victory to talk about with the big Madoka Kikuta Benkei main event, along with the Aftermath, which was really exciting. As well as a 6-man tag, Alex, that I can't wait to tell you about, that I think could sneak into some match of the year ballots. So, really excited to get into Dragon Gate. We will also talk New Japan Pro Wrestling's King of Pro Wrestling from Monday, the big Konosuke Takeshita G1 winner versus Zack Sabre Jr. and the champion. We had Gabe Kidd and Yota Tsuji, and a really fun tag match. Shota Umino and Yuya Uemura took on the Knockout Brothers, so I can't wait to get into King of Pro Wrestling. Noah Wrestle Odyssey, one we were really high on last week. That went down. Yeah. Show was fantastic, by the way. I really had a lot of fun.
Not only were we high last week previewing the show and me finding out about it, and not only were we high while watching it, and not only are we going to be high when we review it, I'm very high on their just their technical aspect, and we'll just talk about the beauty that Noah, and we've teased this, back in 2024 when we were doing shows, or even earlier before that, I think when Wrestle Universe, when the merger kind of came through there, and I remember we were like, wow, why is the camera work so pretty? And we know the WWE has taken liberties with that and, partnerships now, but what a beautiful show.
Yeah. And we had a fun little hot angle at the end of the show that I was kind of intrigued for. So we'll see where that goes. We won't preview it, or we won't talk about it, I should say, not preview, but maybe if I get bored, I'll do like a quick review of it in 20 minutes or something and post it. But if you want something to watch and you got about 12 minutes, Alex, GCW Art of War Games 5 took place on Saturday. Opening match was Teriyaki versus Tony Deppen.
Yeah, Tony Deppen. Friend of the show.
This rocked. I just want you to know that. There was a spot, because it's War Games, they have the 2 rings. Never seen this.
Yep.
Tony Deppen superplexes Teriyaki in between the rings, not into the ring.
What?
It was disgusting.
How is that possible? Yeah, that's... Hey, we're stands for Deppen.
Hell yeah.
It was unfortunate the Ring of Honor, kind of collapsed before the Tony Khan collapse of the brand. Anyways, he was rocking it, pure champs and, having some stellar tag matches for a couple of years. So it was nice to see him, with that. And good to see him back when in GCW where, kind of the exposure for him came through. So, I definitely should check that out. But why is a War Games match only 12 minutes?
Was that was really all it was? It didn't seem, probably because of the.
I thought you said if you have 12 minutes. Watch this match.
Just the opener I was talking about.
Just the opener.
To be fair,
gotcha. Okay.
the whole show. Look, every match I had 2 3.5s, 2 or 3 3.25s, and 1 3-star. It was a perfectly chill, awesome, like nothing like mind blowing, but like awesome match between KJ Orso, the former Fuego del Sol, and man like Darius. Really fun fucking match. Beastman and one called Manders was really fun. So just
that would be fun. Yeah,
super fun show. But I just wanted to point that out for anybody in case.
Hey, you can get that on Triller Plus. So
$7.99 a month.
If you want to watch an old AEW pay-per-view that you ordered years ago, and you don't have Max, get some Triller Plus, get some GCW on, and they got their whole catalog on there, don't they?
There's a ton of shit too. I mean, before we watched Art of War Games, we had like 4 or 5 of us in there, and we see it's like it says live, like now playing. We're like, what the hell? They had armored MMA, like where they had like shields and like swords and body armor on, and they were like doing night fights in an MMA cage.
Wait, what?
So we watched this for like 20 minutes. This one dude had like a one of those spinning maces on a stick or whatever, and he like punched the guy with his shield and then smoked him in the head with the spinning ball, and his helmet dented.
Did you like randomly stream a channel from the depths of hell?
No, this was on Triller Plus at the same time as GCW.
That's the wildest shit. I'm gonna have to get on my Triller app.
Yeah, so we all just were like, wait, should we watch these night fights? And then these 2 dudes just decided to take a knee and set their swords down, and then they just started boxing with the heavy, like they were moving slow as shit, but when they'd hit each other, they almost knock each other over because of the weight. They were just, it was awesome.
Oh my God, that sounds bananas. I think we're going to become that podcast next.
So, really good, but like I said, we will be doing our Wrestle Dream preview to close out tonight. But before we do that, I want to go the route we went last time, Alex, and I want to bring up WWE first. I know Noah technically is the first show, but this was 7 a.m. We came to Perth, ready to roll, and look, I'll admit we had said that this show was going to be, if we care, this could be a must-see show. I gave everything like 3.25 or 3, except for the Roman match. I gave 2.5. It was fine. I gave them a little bit of credit because they worked hard, but it was one of those things too where a lot of this, like, I have to go back and rewatch this Fakura Stratton match because I don't understand how I gave it the score I did because I don't remember anything that happened.
Oh, really?
So I feel like I must have been watching this and I was just like, yeah, this is cool, and I was just being courteous with it. But I mean, we watched Styles and Cena together. And I thought that was fun, but go ahead.
No. So, like, looking back then, you're just like, huh. It was just a basic ass bitch of a match.
It was like watching Raw. If these 5 matches were on Raw, maybe minus the Cena Styles, which I had that at 3. I think I'll bump it up to like a 3.5. I know I'm the low man. Yeah, I know, not even with people I know, but I know overall I'm the low man. I guarantee that. But it was a fun match. It was, to me, it was a lot with no consequences. So like there was no real stake in the claim behind it. I was like, they're not going to quit until they finish doing all these moves.
I mean, but again, that's fine. This is what we wanted.
Agreed.
Like we talked about, like this is all they had to do for 12 months. 37 appearances or whatever, and they biffed majority of it, and they finally do something right, and you're like, oh shit, we only have 4 appearances left.
Mm-hmm.
Which is crashing the internet for the last appearance, December 13th in Washington D.C.
Yeah, the Ticketmaster crashed.
So I mean, we're saying, hey, the bubble's gonna burst. We're saying in 2026, but I mean, this is a big event. This is like Jordan retiring. This is like Kobe retiring. This is like when Ovechkin retires, or like people are gonna want to go and watch this guy one last time.
Yeah.
And so I think in Australia, just seeing the 99% of the arena wearing all yellow Cena shirts, I don't know how they mass produce that much. Like I said, I hope they produce those down under, comparable to getting those shipped, but whatever floats their boat, I suppose. But yeah, that was just beautiful, and the introduction, the definition of total nonstop action, the ace and the true leader of the Bullet Club. Like, they fucking say Bullet Club.
Yep.
Like I told you last night, like, I saw that at the gym. Like, it was on Facebook. It was like, just someone taped it and put it online. And I watched it, like, after the 9th time of watching that introduction of AJ Styles. Like, I'm tearing up. I'm like, this is what it's about. Like, this is a fucking moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is why you watch it. Otherwise, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And then for them to put on the match that they do at the ages that they are, at the level that some have critiqued, especially Cena during this run, who hasn't done it full time lately, and then Styles coming back yoked a year ago after sustaining a pretty serious injury. So for them, for what they did with their storytelling, the homage, the thank yous, the salutes, the WrestleMania opponents, the rivalries of Ring of Honor and TNA past, like everything just hit a perfect swing. The only thing I'm bummed about was the audio issues, and I really wish I would have heard the crowd more. I know they were loud, and I think that's what kind of killed some of the match. That, and I'm sick, so I'm like trying to fight off a lot of shit. So I was just annoyed that I was sick, and I had a long ass day, and yeah. So I want to watch it again. I need, like I said, if they sold the matches on ESPN a la carte, I would buy that in a fucking heartbeat.
Yep.
And I'd probably watch that over and over on the big screen, with the sound system loud as fuck, because I want to feel like I was in Perth. And that's a moment, and that will be on many, best, end of the year lists, and as it should.
Yep.
And they shouldn't be mocked for it, because we're never going to see this beautiful art of wrestling done of an era that was so wishy-washy, but these two were always fucking there, where AJ Styles just migrated and transformed who he was until he finally entered the leagues of Cena, then shows up at the Rumble. And then what did you say, Ryan, when someone came out at the 2016 Rumble?
SMWD.
So...
Suck my white one.
Yeah. So... It's,
my God, I'm stupid. You wanted me to say, is it AJ?
Yeah, dummy.
I'm looking at what I have to say when we get to the next part, and I'm trying to figure if I need to censor something. And then when I heard you say that in my head, I was like, oh, God, how do I censor this one now?
Oh, no.
And then I was like, oh, never mind. I'm just stupid.
But, yeah, no, this was just a beauty of a match in a company that's sports entertainment, and I was highly entertained. And I can't give it a full grade until I watch it without the Stephanie McMahon endorsed VPN aspect. So, but I definitely just recommend anyone watch it. Like, I might just buy the app just for that. I don't know.
So, like I said, I say this with as much positivity as I can make it sound. Me giving this a 3.5, I think is a good score, being how I've recently rated WWE matches. I thought it was a lot of fun. I loved, excuse me, I loved watching to see what move was going to be next. But in terms of rating a match, it was like, all right, well, until they finish this, it's like waiting for the Garroot wire. But it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
But it's enjoyable is where I'm going.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I really can't be invested into, oh God, who's going to win? Because I know no one's going to win from any of these. So that's the only reason why I didn't go notebook or anything. But I think for in a shell of what it was, I thought it was a lot of fun. Like, I would watch it again. I haven't said that about a lot of WWE matches in the last few years. I would definitely watch this again for the fun aspect of what it was. I just, in the span of giving it an honest grade, that's why I'm the low man on it. I know, because everyone else is going to have it at 5 stars or 4 3/4 or something, which is great. I'm not mad at that. Good for them. They worked really hard. They beat the shit out of each other with those. That John Cena did the best Bray Wyatt move I've ever seen.
Yeah. Perfect spot on Sister Abigail. And then when the lights come, and then I cried during that part where I'm like, holy shit.
And
then he looks up and he says, thank you.
Yeah. And then, so that was cool. So I have no ill will whatsoever towards it with my grade. I was just giving it an honest grade of what the match was. As for what you didn't see, like I said, Vakur won with the spiral tap. It kind of just was what it was. Bronson Reed won with the tsunami. Roman Reigns at one point's throwing rugby balls at Paul Heyman, but he can't even get it past the ring
can't even
rope.
hit him.
Yeah, it was, and he tried 3 times.
Yeah, Georgia Tech football player, my ass.
Yeah, former Minnesota Viking.
Bronson Reed's beating Roman Reigns, Sheamus, and Kazuchika Okada.
Yes. I love how you put Sheamus in there.
Hey, this guy's had a fucking job for 15 years. So, I mean, kudos for doing the same gimmick, except one time he wore a hat. We love us some Sheamus.
That's like going, man, Shelton Benjamin in the G1 beat Shinsuke Nakamura. He beat Hiroshi Tanahashi, and he beat Master Wato. that's and I'm being nice about it.
I'd be like, what fucking timeline are you in? They're not even in the same era.
I was going to say Yoshihashi, and then I started shuddering, because that's where I was going, and I was like, he sucked back then.
So I'll bring my question that I was about to ask until you get to the main event.
Okay. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Asuka, Kairi Sane, perfectly fine match. I went 3 stars on it. Nice, fun little tag match. They didn't rely a lot on their little cliche troops or anything. They just went out there and worked, and it was fine. So I was happy for that one. And then your main event, a nice 2-star, 2 1/4 special.
Whoa! I thought everybody loves Seth Rollins.
Oh,
What's going on there?
After, they did the same thing as Cena Styles, but just with their own moves. Whatever, it's fine. The crowd loved it. So then Rollins, for the first time ever, to get this win, because he can't beat Cody. They kept telling us, you can't beat me. He comes off the middle rope with the middle rope foot stomp. And for some reason, Cody takes it like he's taking a DDT and lands on his shoulder blades. Oh. And then Rollins pins him and he doesn't kick out. It's like, no! What an awful finish. I don't know why he just didn't take a straight bump like you would on the normal foot stomp. Instead, he tried to spike it to do like how Ospreay would probably sell it. And Cody just kept rotating, and it looked like he just got body slammed. Like he barely. Oh, I was like, no, you guys worked all that way to get that finish.
Yeah. Oh god.
You gotta see it. So
Rollins gets the victory, and he comes out and gloats on Monday Night Raw at 7 a.m. on Monday. Clearly, hence the title. And then all of a sudden, I see random reports in the afternoon because Mondays are very busy for me, so I don't check the dirt sheets, every hour.
I forgot about this part.
And so Rollins then, so this is what I was going to ask. So Rollins gets punked out by the Bronze and the Wise Man, or the Visionary. So Paul Heyman, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, turn on Seth Rollins. Apparently he has an injury since there was a photo taken of Seth Rollins enjoying some ice cream with an arm sling. So, begs to differ, or begs the question, I should say. Smart move by the WWE. What are they going to do with Bronson Reed? I guess there's multiple questions, but the big question is what do we do with Seth Rollins in this situation in the long term? Because this is the fourth injury he's unfortunately sustained in 5 years, it seems like. Probably not that much, but pretty damn close. But also, I don't know, do you give this guy the ball anymore?
Man, I've said this before, and it's because of just watching Demetrius.
Yeah.
If you can't do a coast to coast, don't even try to do it. And Seth Rollins puts Cody in the corner, and he starts getting on the rope, and he's not jumping, and you could see him kind of moving. So you could tell he's scared to do the jump because he doesn't think he can hit it now. So he decides to do a diving headbutt and then tears his shoulder because there's no way to protect yourself.
Oh, Lord.
So now he's laying there going, making that noise. Mm-hmm. And you could instantly tell, by the way he was selling, you're like, oh, well, he's hurt. I don't know why he did that. And Cody's just, staring at him, and I'm like, oh, my gosh. And then, of course, he won so it's like, well, maybe he really wasn't hurt. And then they did the thing. And now what's going to happen, too, is everyone's going to be like, oh, he's not hurt. They did this last time. And then he'll really get hurt. And they'll be like,
karma? Is this karma?
That's a good way to put it. Don't work the boys.
The irony of it all. The fucking irony of it all. It's so ridiculous, but it's just this guy just seems like it's just constant. He's like the white Kota Ibushi. He's the Iowan Kota Ibushi.
So what do you think they do? So 2 questions then. The rumored Survivor Series match was Roman, Jay, Jacob Fatu, CM Punk, and either Jimmy or LA Knight against Rollins, the Bronze, Austin Theory, who I guess was going to go into the group because he was with Rollins to begin with in the pandemic. And then Lesnar was going to be the 5th as a favor, probably to Heyman.
Oh.
What do you do now as Rollins' replacement if you're running this thing? Or do you just do you go 4-on-4 instead and just keep it simpler?
I mean, the important question is, how does Austin Theory fit into this?
That's what I said. Like, okay.
I mean, I'm all for it. This kid's so young still. I think, with him being out, injury or not, or I forget the deal. But, I think this will be a good surprise. I think if he worked on the mic a little more or expressed himself a little more than he was able to, it seemed like in the past, I think he can be pretty effective.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to be the next Heyman guy, which works perfectly. So I think that would be the only way that would make sense, is he's part of whatever they're going to call this new faction, because obviously what the hell were they called? The Eruptions, the Visionaries, or whatever bullshit.
You know what they should do? And I say this with a guy who's, I don't think he's ever going to be a star like they think he does, but then they don't pull the trigger, so I don't know what they're doing. They should have LA Knight turn heel and say he orchestrated the whole thing.
Orchestrated what thing?
To take out Rollins.
Oh, okay.
And you have him win the title on that Saturday night's main event in like 2 weeks.
Interesting.
And you, because you do like the 3-way, and you could have him align with Heyman, and then he was the mastermind behind them jumping Rollins, was to get him out of the picture so he could beat Punk and Uso or whoever's in that match, or whatever the fuck they're gonna do. And then you could have him just slide into the Rollins spot, and then you could have him slide in and put over Roman at Mania. Because it was going to be Rollins and Roman anyway, I heard. And
which makes sense, but if there's no title on the line, I mean, is it worth it?
Well, that's why you have LA Knight win the title, and then he puts over Roman at Mania. And then,
do you think? I mean, is LA Knight still over? I don't watch the product as much. I know you haven't either, but
if they made him heel and cost Roman or something. Or if they did it where he set everything up, the crowd are gonna boo him anyway. So what does it matter?
Yeah.
But then you can still get to what I'm assuming is their golden dream, where Mania ends with Roman and Cody as the 2 champions, and now TKO has their 2 cash cows on the 2 brands, and now they can shop the brands for new deals again.
Oh.
But if you're going to do something with them, here's a perfect chance to slide him in and do something with them. Otherwise, if you're not, just send them to the U.S. division or fire them. I mean, probably not do that. That's a little extreme, but
yeah.
I don't know, because this main event made Cody look like shit, and then Seth just hurts himself.
Yeah.
So you didn't gain anything from this fucking show.
Is this going to affect Cody Rhodes like it affected Finn Balor when Balor was getting hot? You know, what was that, for the red title, and then Balor gets hurt like right away, and I don't know. It just seems like Rollins is just sometimes a bad luck charm.
Yeah. Look, like I said, I hate to say it, but don't do moves you can't do, because that's why you get injured. Yeah. Do what you know how to do, because that's why you're there.
Yeah.
So, so there was a 10-minute stretch at the end of the post show where, they have all their guests, like Rhea comes out and blah, blah, blah. And Triple H comes out. And I don't know if you saw this or anything, but the crowd starts chanting Edge at Triple H. And like nonchalantly under his breath, but he manages to put the mic under his mouth. He's like, that's never going to happen. Hey, guys, how's it going today? And the crowd picks up on this. Like, they hear, obviously he did it on purpose, and he was trying to be whether he was trying to be funny or a douchebag. The crowd picked up on, or heard this. And for the first time, they proceeded to ruin this press conference. And they were revolting against this shit. And I was immediately intrigued by this, because I'm like, this is different. Mm-hmm. And they were at one point, Paul Rosenberg and Big E are laughing, and Triple H is like getting red, and then Rosenberg says something. And, he mentions, Edge or something, and Triple H is trying to avoid the question, and then Big E says something to him, and he says something else. And then you see this group of security guards telling them to stop at this point, through this. So they start booing these people because WWE's telling them to shut up, like behind the cameras. And they're like, so it starts with Edge. After the comment, they start singing Edge's theme song, completely drowning out the whole press conference. Then they start a "We Want Grayson" chant. Then they start chanting for Orton.
Yeah, how do they not do a Waller effect? Come on. It's like...
Yeah. So they do the Orton. They cheer for Orton. Then they start doing Orton's theme. Then they start chanting Batista. Then they start chanting explicitive the Saudis over and over. Then they started chanting "You sold out" at Triple H. Then they started chanting "We want Mania." Then they started chanting. Now this is where this is where Big E starts laughing. They start chanting "Great Khali."
Jesus.
They start chanting "Hornswoggle."
Did they wipe this whole press conference off?
It's all on
internet?
YouTube. It's all on
Did they scrub
YouTube. It's on YouTube.
It's still there.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's still there. So this is like the hijack mania, Raw after Mania. You're totally right.
So then they start chanting "Boogeyman." Then they break into a John Moxley chant. Then they break into an MJF chant. Then they start chanting AEW. And they start getting told to stop, so they start booing. Then they start calling this guy a wanker that's yelling at him. So then they go into a Brodus Clay chant.
Oh my God.
Then they start chanting for Joe Hendry. Then they start a 999 chant.
What?
Then they start chanting in for Grayson Waller. Then they start chanting for HBK. They start chanting "Elephants Suck." And then finally they break into a cameraman chant, and then Triple H gets up and leaves.
Wait, did they actually say the cameraman's name or just
Cameraman? Cameraman. And then
well done.
Triple H says all about the game, and he just gets up and leaves. So, like...
Yeah, we're getting pretty down under here, right, guys?
Yeah, when they started the Moxley and MJF and shit, they were like, you guys need to stop now. It's like, oh, fuck you.
Well, like when I mentioned the hashtag Fire Triple H last week, it was just like, I think the heat's getting to them, but like with the press of... the cease and desist AEW over Andrade's contracts, which we'll get into, probably a little next week. We want to know a little bit more. But, I mean, does this make them look a little sloppy? Like, they got rid of their issue. They're not paying this man anymore. So what does it matter? Like, why? They're just being petty.
Yeah, look, if I'm WWE, if I'm whoever in that office... I don't give a shit that Andrade's working CMLL and some AEW.
Yeah.
They're just pissed because he went to...
game changer.
Yeah, they're pissed because he went to both competitors.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, guys.
Again.
but I'm sorry, Triple H. Triple A is no competitor to CMLL.
Oh.
So, like... Who cares?
Don't tell Mr. Iguana's puppet.
Oh, yeah, sorry. But, yeah, I was like, let's go. Like, I don't know where this goes. I don't know if this is a one-off thing and it will never matter. But for 10 minutes, these people finally said, what are we doing with this shit in front of us?
Yeah.
They're all like, they're standing here with all these John Cena shirts on. Everybody in the crowd's yellow shirted. And they get treated to a 2-hour pay-per-view for probably honestly, a mortgage payment.
Yeah, for a fucking baby koala. My question to you then you got to at least bump your rating a little more because that match is going to mean a lot to those fans, the John Cena AJ Styles match, because at least that was worth the admission for them, while everything else, all talent involved, which there's a lot of fucking talent in those other 4 matches, sans Grayson Waller, which they are 100% correct on that. At least they got their money's worth with that match.
Yeah.
So you gotta respect that a little bit more. At least they went out there and put on, a almost 30-minute modern WWE, masterpiece. Like you said, when was the last? I couldn't even tell you the last time I rewatched a WWE match. Maybe the Cell match with Punk and McIntyre last year, and before that, I'm not sure.
Look, that's the first one I can tell you I've watched, and I was willingly going, "Hey, I will put it on for you."
Yeah.
And I told you you're gonna like it. Like I hyped it. Like I said, I don't have anything bad to say about it. I just in the grand scheme of things, without obviously there's the everything that goes along with the match and the fun ass back and forth with the moves and stuff like that. But in my personal opinion, that as a start to finish match, it wasn't better than Kakuta Benkei to me. So I can't give it I can't go 4.25 on it. So I got to go at least 4 then. So now I need to look at other matches in that range. And, coming down to it for the sake of the weekend, I liked that match about as much as I liked that really, really fun tag with Susumu and Kagatora against Kota Minoura and Jason Lee, who Jason Lee and Kota Minoura might be the best tag team in pro wrestling right now. So I say that as potential my award winner for the tag team of the year. I love Susumu, and Kagatora is great. So in terms of the spectacle and memory, yeah, that match is going to be way more memorable. I won't remember stuff about that tag like I will Cena Styles. But in terms of a match as a whole, it wasn't worked better than that match. That's the only reason I have it at 3.5. But I'm truly not trying to dog it. I just, I'm not. I'm not inflating it.
Shout out to Wesley.
It's his fault.
But I mean, again, other, this WWID program, just everyone's getting, apparently, A, not getting paid worth shit, and B, just releasing all this talent, some that are, announced pregnancy, some that are hurt through their ring, their practice facilities, if you will, the performance centers, and getting paid roughly $500 a week. Bro, would you do all that shit for $500 a week? In today's economy in Florida?
It's so hard because those guys down there, right, they all have roommates, most of them. So it makes that part easier. And I'm sure they get things furnished for them. But at the same time, I totally agree. But then I'm a hypocrite because I wrestle, I'd go and wrestle in North Dakota for $25.
I know, and I never understood that, but that was for the passion and the love of it. They're trying to figure out a career.
Yeah,
they can go manage a fucking Family Dollar and make more.
Now,
and beat up their bodies.
If that means I can still have a normal 9-to-5 job and do the same thing, and I'm essentially just going, all right, well, this is my booking rate now, then I guess it isn't bad. But if I'm relying simply on independent wrestling to be my only form of payment, then I would say I will sign this only if I'm allowed to take bookings as well.
Yeah.
Because then I know at least that's a guaranteed $500 booking. But I think that's where it's hard. But I think if you're somebody who's been established, like Kaylee Ray, if I'm her, I'm not working for that because her rate should be more than that, and she could probably get 8 to 10 bookings a month if she wanted.
She was for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, and she was the one I was referring to who, announced her pregnancy, and they're like, nope, you're done. We're releasing you. Like Tony Khan paid, Ruby Soho's been out, 2 years? She's opening up a wrestling-themed games, shop?
Yeah, they're opening like the Source kind of.
Like a cafe? Yeah. So, I mean, he's letting them do them. So,
and
why
think about this,
TKO
too.
doing that?
He's letting Angelo Parker.
Barata and Penelope Ford, get their college degrees?
And Angelo Parker's got to be on paid maternity leave because they're not booking him, so they're just letting him stay at home with her.
Yeah, that shouldn't be allowed. That guy needs to go work. Because whatever. But
and maybe they just don't have anything for him too. I think maybe later when you establish the Garcia thing more, you could bring him back as a foil. You could have 2.0 trying to fuck you Garcia type thing. You could do like Garcia and Shafir against those two or something. I don't know. But that's neither here nor there. That's just.
Did you watch that Roddy match? That really quick Roddy Claudio match?
No, I was trying to get through everything so I could see any of the angles, but I saw like 4 stiff backbreakers. That's what I'm referring
to. The Roddy Strong top rope back turnbuckle backbreaker to Cesaro was one of the coolest moves I've ever seen. I was like, have I seen this before?
That was part of the other reason I kept doing the 30-second skip was like, I'm going to come back and watch this. So I don't I don't care who wins. It's going to be Claudio, but this is going to fuck.
Yeah, it was awesome. And but it was just like so quick. And I'm like, I don't know what this means for Roddy. I'm happy for Claudio. I mean, I don't know.
So this could be
match. Good little TV bout.
This could be like a crazy assessment, but I wonder if they're like, hey, we got enough time to add 2 guys who want to do a sprint. Does anyone want to do it? And if those 2 guys were like standing next to each other, they're probably like, fuck yeah. We'll give you the greatest 7 minutes you've ever seen.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's WWE. I don't think there's anything else we need to touch on in Perth.
No.
I do want to real quick. We can kind of short form most of this because we talked a little bit, but I do want to talk about one match with you and then the other one before it. Dragon Gate of Victory 2025 from the 8th of October from Corkin Hall. Daiki Yanaguchi and Ryu Fuda defeated Mochi Jr. and Akihiro Sahara. When Daiki Yanaguchi, who he's the guy who's the part-time worker at Corkin who finally gets gear now and he finally got a victory. He does a head scissors like pile driver somehow to Akihiro Sahara. I don't know if they did it the way it was supposed to, but it was like the first time I saw a destroyer. It almost looked like Hechicero's flipping leg drop like destroyer thing that he does. But it was sick. In a match that
I did watch, and I will say, if you were a Japanese man with a beautiful head of dark hair, you would be Daiki Yanaguchi.
Oh! One thing that I'm sure is still going, and it was not very good. Which
the 8-man TV tour.
Yamato Dragon
BB Hulk is officially a part of that.
Yep, BB Hulk getting in there. Naruki Doi versus Mochi Fuji, Takashi, and Punch. And Hulk, too, with the first flash, gets the victory on Punch. One of the slowest first flashes I've ever seen him do to me. Also, this match was butt cheeks, but that's okay. Every show has one.
I will say, though, Don Fuji, though, he looked great. Not wrestling-wise, but just, like, personally. I thought he looked in great shape. How crazy is it that Naruki Doi and Yamato are in the technical curtain jerker of the show?
I guess that's probably a favor to Yamadoi going, you guys just want to have the night off? And they're like, yep, we're going to go hit the town. And they're like, all right.
Shout out Dragon Kid, by the way, coming back after that crazy injury a year ago.
The only thing that I thought was funny about it was, I think it was Takashi moves and Dragon Kid goes for like a diving clothesline, and when he moves, Doi catches him, and Dragon Kid's hugging Doi, and Doi hates it when Dragon Kid hugs him, so he like launches his ass halfway across the ring. So I did think that was pretty funny thinking back on it, but yeah, they were just going through the motions, filling time with it. Then we had Yuki Yoshioka, Dragon Daya, and Ryoya Tanaka, the team of D-Courage, defeat Natural Vibes team of Strong Machine, Jay, KZ, and UT. Dragon Daya with a middle rope DDT to UT to get the victory. Match that I talked about, like I said, Kota Minoru, Jason Lee on the losing end to Kagetora and Susumu Yokosuka. Susumu with a Jumbo no Kachi lariat on Jason Lee. Jason Lee looked like he was F5'd out of midair. He took such a good bump. It was gross. Then we saw the debut of Fight Panther and Arrow Panther. They tag with Luis Mate against Hio, Jackie Funky Kame, and Rita of Love and Peace. Arrow Panther hits a Firebird springboard splash to Jackie Kame, running up the ropes like Cody does for his cutter, and then doing the 180 into a 450. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh!
And these guys are. I mean, this is a really good match. A lot of fun, and there's great banter at the beginning between Jay Church and Ho Ho Loon as they argue on which one is Arrow and which one is Fight Panther. And
that's amazing. Is that a homage to Jim Ross?
he's so Ho's like
tribute?
He's like the man in the pink mask is Arrow or Fight, and the one with the black jacket is Arrow. And Jay Church is like, unfortunately, Ho, it's the other way around. Fight Panther has on the mask, the purple mask, and Arrow Panther is the one that just took it off with the tattoos. And Holu's like, you sure? The jacket said Arrow. And Jay Church is like, oh, I mean, well, maybe I'm wrong then. And Holu's like, maybe they traded jackets. I'm just like, what the fuck? So now that no one's talking, and then they come back and they go, all right, we are correct. Fight Panther is the one that took off the jacket or with the purple mask, and Arrow is the one with the tattoos. And then they just call the match. It was just those two guys being perfect like they always are.
Oh yeah, the best tandem in besides no. Actually, I like all the American or English commentaries on Puro.
Yeah, so. Stu Fulton, another one. Shout out to Stu Fulton. Loving the show. Loving the take on ripping on the CW. Shout out to Stuart Fulton for that. Semi-main event. I'm telling everybody now, if you haven't seen this match is going on my match of the year list. I went 4 3/4. It was Kai, Ishin, and Yoshiki Kata of Gajadokuro taking on Shun Skywalker, Homare, and Kazuma Kimura, the guy that they just basically were forced to take because Gajadokuro said, we'll do a 6-man, but you don't have a 6th person or a 3rd person. So Kazuma Kimura, who was standing on the outside of the ring, who had only been wrestling for 2 months, he said, you get in the ring, you're with us. And that's how he ended up being their partner. And when I tell you Kazuma Kimura put on one of the best wrestling performances I have seen somebody in like their first big match have, this guy's going to be a star if that's the case. Shun was Shun to a T. Homare is turning into something that I think is going to be a Brave Gate champion at some point. And Ishin is still one of the best guys they got. Yoshiki Kato is tremendous, and Kai is fucking Kai. But I went 4 3/4 on this match. I tell you, the false finish. There was a point when I was watching this with Jordan, and he goes, he's like, I'm dibbing that Kimura guy right now. That's my Kota Ibushi type random pick. He's like, he's like, this guy's crazy. And then the match just starts going crazy. And we're watching this, and there's grown men in here, ohing and awing and like it. I haven't done that in wrestling in ages. The finish is tremendous. Ishin and Kimura are involved in the finish together. I am not going to spoil it for anybody in case you guys want to watch it. But I tell you what, you're going to see some back and forth in this finish that will make you sweat. Because this match is so... I just... Kind of like the same thing in a way I said with the Cena thing and Styles. The only reason I didn't give it 5 stars is because I went, if I have to think if it's a 5, it's not a 5. So just being realistic, I didn't want to overdo it. As great as this match was, I'm gonna watch it again. I may regrade it, but I just something made me not great at a 5. But my God, this is like the guy who loses at the finish line by like half of a second from winning, is what this was. I mean, it was so good. It was so good.
Interesting. 2 months. This guy's been wrestling for 2 months.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how many matches he's had.
Does Dragon Gate do their, quote unquote, do their young boys, are they more polished because they say they're only, do you think they just have more suitable teaching? Like, why do their young boys always just seem like they're just ready to go out the gate?
So
Where New Japan, sometimes it doesn't. These guys are like 19, 20, and they're already putting on like 2.5-star matches, and then 3. Like where you're just like, huh? 3-star matches, 4 and 3/4, like you're saying. Like are they just getting more? I don't want to say reps, but just tender and care. Like, how do they pick these, these wrestlers out?
Well, and here's a perfect example. Kazuma Kimura doesn't even have a cage match profile yet.
Like, have they been working with him for like 10 months behind the scenes? Like, no one knows, but they're just working and working and working until they're like, all right, we're gonna run this angle of you being new, and then in 2 months we're gonna have this. Like, because obviously this was planned. They knew the talent that this kid has.
Yeah, like remember when Takuma Nishikawa was in a lot of these openers, and they kept giving him more and more and more offense, and he's in there for 6-7 months or however long it was, and then suddenly he shows up as TN Revolution, and he's in the main event at Korakuen. He hits that disgusting driver finisher and gets a victory in his essential repackaged debut at Korakuen in the main event. Like, this company gets behind these guys. If you look at 2025 alone, we still got a month and a half left. Dragon Gate has ran 136 shows this year.
Wow.
Like, they may be the most ran company in the world. And every one of these shows, these young boys are there putting up the ring, taking it down, doing drills, and just practicing. And the number one thing with Dragon Gate has always been the mantra is, you don't get put on TV until you're perfect. Like, we don't tolerate botches.
But yet we have botches every week on NXT, allegedly. I don't watch it, so I'm not sure.
Oh,
you
God.
said 2 of the worst matches you've seen.
Supposedly on Bound for Glory, yeah. And TNA, if you want to see a horrific, watch Dark State versus the Hardys. That's that match I was talking about from that Showdown thing. I don't think they did anything that wasn't botched in that match. It's so bad. But they demand perfection from their wrestlers. And people and the people that join that Dragon Gate system know this. And that's why it's like they know going in it's going to be tough. Like, and I think that's why all these guys I think they know they have to be disciplined to go through it. And that's why it happens. And look at the stars. Like, how can Dragon Gate and Noah, I'm going to tie Noah in there with it, with Madoka Kakuta and Ozawa, and guys like Ishin, yet New Japan is still putting 35-year-old, 40-year-old wrestlers in title matches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Evil's wrestling Aaron Wolf. Like, that's...
When did they announce that? Was that this morning? Or was that at the King of Pro Wrestling?
To my knowledge, it hasn't been released. This was non-info I got from somebody that I'll tell you about after. But I don't want to say it on here. But if you know where I'm going,
yeah.
But yeah, it was announced. They found out it was announced that it's going to be Evil, whether it's announced yet or not. But I'm gonna Google it and see. But it's like how do you set this guy up to succeed when that's going to be his first match? You look at Kazuma Kimura and look at what they did for him. He's with Shun Skywalker and 4 other dudes that are like 25 years old, and Kai, who's a vet. Like, they're putting all these guys in that main spot. Madoka Kakuta, Ozawa,
And we didn't know what Kakuta was going to be after that injury after a year, in his first championship match. He comes back, wins the title a year after that injury, I believe literally from to the day, give or take. But my question to you is, if Sexy Boy Kento was still here...
God, that's the biggest what if, isn't it?
Like, hot damn, man. Like, where would he be? Because he had such charisma. He was a baby. So I don't know what his GLEAT status is, but like he could only get better and better. And with his stint in Mexico, for God's sake, I mean, come on. So yeah, I would say like him and Kakuta. Just imagine that feud, at this time, if that timeline still would have been in place.
Well, and that's another interesting thing, like what's going to happen, because Takuma Fujiwara, what's his name, Nobuhiro Shimatani from GLEAT, and Kenta Kabune, SB Kento, they've been working as the Tokyo Bad Boys. They've been working all year in AAA.
Oh, nice.
So like,
so they could be scooped up by the E?
In theory, yeah, they could.
Wait, does that mean we're going to see Katsuhiko Nakajima in a WWE endorsed ring?
No, because he wrestles in GLEAT. Although he lost the title. That's another weird one. El Lindemann won the title in that match with Nakajima. And then...
How was it?
I was spoiled on it.
Oh.
So it is. But after the match, apparently, Shima comes out to be the next challenger. And like he starts like talking shit to Lindemann because Lindemann had never won like a title like that. And Lindemann, like in the middle of it, just open hand slapped the shit out of him apparently. And people say Shima was acting like that was not supposed to happen by his reaction from it. Because he like started to like sun hit, like talk down to him and stuff, I guess. And I guess it got really weird. So either they're trying to do some sort of a work shoot, but I don't know. I think Shima's, and so it's Shima versus Lindemann for the title. Loser leaves GLEAT.
Wow. So Shima's going to show up at the Jericho Cruise since no AEW talent is announced?
I think he might retire.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's got island of money. Come on. The Jeff Jarrett of Japan.
Oh, yeah. Especially with all the money laundering GLEAT supposedly is. There's rumors that GLEAT is only ran because that's how they launder money. Like, it could be like a Yakuza ran company.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. I don't know, but I've only heard. But yeah, man, that's so like this company just seems to do it right. And then obviously with doing it right, we got Kakuta defeats Ben K. Ben K looked great in that like Dragon Ball outfit he was wearing, that like Goku shit.
So, okay, that's why I was confused when I asked you. I was like, is Mochizuki a part of his gimmicks? Because they looked exactly the same with the orange. But I was like, is this a Dragon Ball homage?
I think
like,
it was.
What group is he in? Is this the peace and love gimmick or whatnot? But yeah, Ben K looked fantastic. He de-ages. It's crazy, but like he fluctuates. Like he'll just be muscular and just traps galore, and then now he's just so lean, and veiny. But he was moving around very well. I'm in my Thakuta phase right now in my life. I'm building up a little muscle that I lost, but still got that big rumper or big dumper. Go Seattle. Yeah, this was a fun match. It was good to see Ben K. It feels like the only time I watch a Dragon Gate show nowadays in the last few years is if Ben K is headlining somehow. And he didn't disappoint. You knew he was not going to win, unfortunately, but this was a very good test for Madoka Kakuta as he retains the Open the Dream Gate Championship. This was fun. This was, it's the two matches I watched. It was a nice breath of relief of like, this feels good again. And we're going to get to that, in the next couple of shows too. But yeah, Dragon Gate, it's, I'm excited. Like you said, King of Gates is just announced.
Yes. So, with the King of Gate, let me get my brackets up here real quick. All right, we got them right here. So, Alex, interesting brackets here. I'm kind of intrigued to go over this. In your top left, if you will, bracket, Yuki Yoshioka and Madoka Kakuta in the first round.
Off, yeah.
That blew my mind because I was like, are they going to face off in the final? Are they going to try to run this back again? Like, we're getting it right away.
We're going to do this WWE AEW style where you're scratching your heads and you're like, wait, what's happening? But this is kind of interesting, but I mean, you could go many ways with this. You can turn it into a storyline in a way, because if Kakuta, gets the victory, then it's just going to be like, Yoshioka, he can go into a spiral or whatnot and, kind of fight harder or be an opponent, later on, in the year, the beginning of next year. So it has its different ways of going. But, yeah, this is a thriller of a match. And, I mean, I don't know if they would bypass the second round, to be fair, because of my winner, my pick. But, yeah, I don't know. Who do you think Kakuta's going to have the champion's advantage?
I think Kakuta's got to win. I don't think you can have him, especially with how much you're trying to make him dominant and look so dominant, go out early. Because the way it's formed, if we break down this kind of four-man area, we got your boy Cyberkong against UT, which I unfortunately don't think UT is getting that victory.
Nope.
You know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Because that is tough.
For a UT push.
Yeah.
I mean, UT gets a push every couple of years, it seems like, for a couple of months until something drastic happens.
Yeah, okay. So that makes me look to, so that's now, we'll say UT. I don't think...
No, Takashi, baby. You can't fuck with Cyberpunk. Come on, boy. You're looking good, too, baby.
Which I think then leads to neither of them are going to beat Kakuta. So that moves Kakuta on for me. Kota Minoura, I think he beats Mochizuki because it gets the Zebrak guy or the Gajidokuro guy farther in. It would be cool if Mochi wins, but he doesn't need to. He's there to make Minoura look good.
Yeah, but he had a hell of a 2024. He's had a pretty damn good early, 10 months of 2025. So he's had a fun resurgence, I think, with Junior there.
And that Brave title match.
His game up, yep, the Brave title match as well. But
he cut all that weight for it. I couldn't believe that.
But he's looking good. But yeah, like you said, it's his job to make him look good, just so he could face, the winner of the next match, which again could be a toss-up. This bracket is insane.
Now, I'm assuming it's Shun Skywalker, which I think you probably are too, but I would never doubt Naruki Doi to win, especially after when he beat Ben K at that 2019 Final Gate, and we're like, what the fuck? Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
But I think all roads point to Shun and Kakuta to go to the finals, or to go to the Final Four.
Final Four, yep.
We got Ishin and Monte. I think that's a toss-up on who could win that. Probably Ishin because of the championship, but then again, you could have Monte win because in theory, you could run Monte and the Panthers against them for a triple crown or for a trios title match. So I think either's possible. Then we get Foreign Wrestler 1 against Rio Fuda. I've heard rumblings that somebody known in the Midwest area could be in this, but I have no idea who. I've never heard a name for it yet.
Eric Cannon?
If he's coming back with Deep Trunkers, probably, at the Nostalgia Gate. But do you think, regardless of who the person is, unless it's like Pac or something, we probably get the
why are you throwing out a name like Pac? Come on now.
Because that'd be tight.
Plus he's wearing clothes. That would be tight, but they don't allow clothes in Japan, especially if you're Pac.
You know who it's going to be?
Yeah. Who's it going to be?
It's going to be Johnny Valletta, I bet.
Oh, that'd be a fun welcome back to Puro.
Because him and Fuda were doing some fun undercard shit when Fuda was still not established about a year ago.
Okay.
So
maybe, I'm down to clown on that.
And then Kagetora, Jackie Kame. I think you should have Kame win that.
Fuck yeah.
I think Susumu's beating Ben K.
Ooh. Why?
He got the win at Gate of Victory in that tag match
Okay.
when he pinned Jason Lee clean. If you look at the way that these shows are slotted, where is their match? Susumu and Ben K are on a night with the Minoru Mochi, so he's in a spot where he's probably main eventing another show.
Well, Susumo's earned this main event. I mean, this guy went into a time machine. This guy is the AJ Styles of Dragon Gate, just having a resurgence the last, again, couple of years where this guy had my attention where I'm like, whoa, I thought he was part of Natural Vibes. Well, he was a part of Natural Vibes, but when I found out his age, it blew my mind. But Susumu Yokosuka is just barred. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't doubt that he'll beat Ben K. I think just because he could make that Final Four, like you were saying, possibly. Because then he could just beat the living shit out of Jackie Kamei as much as I love Jackie Kamei. But just keep that train rolling, baby. The Susumu Express is rolling through, I believe, to that Final Four.
So real quick with that top group that we were talking about, you got Shun or Kakuta then in the finals of that part?
Oh, man. That's tough. I would say you can never go wrong against Shun Skywalker.
Okay.
You could build him up again. He's getting a little bit more exposure, kind of showing up at Noah as well. It wasn't back-to-back days. But, anyways, so Shun Skywalker's, kind of been all over. Kind of getting the New Japan rub as well. Didn't we get him in America for a second, or was that a dream?
No, he did a Game Changer show, and he was here WrestleMania weekend, too.
That's what I thought. Okay, so this guy, I think, is ready for any promotion in the States if they were to throw a lot of money at him, and a lot of money well earned. But this guy's just a star. He's a guy that clearly does not need to win. He is bulletproof. Just because of the vast array of character that he can display. But I think this is a guy that beats Kakuta again for that, title shot down the line. Maybe he's the one to beat him. But again, I think Susumu, though, is going to be the story coming out of this.
Yeah,
now that I think about it.
I originally was thinking Shun would advance and win this whole thing, and then at Final Gate wrestle Kakuta. But I feel like they don't want to do that yet. And with Shun having a third come out after that Triangle Gate match with Kai Ishin and Yoshiki Kato, it was this big, tall guy in like a button-up shirt and khakis, and he had this really like peacocky, frilly kind of mask. It was almost like a mystical-looking match. It was like light blue.
Wait, did you say peacocky?
Yeah, it was really weird. It had
Okay,
like
just
feathers, like not feathers, but like the lines, like a peacock tail.
Gotcha. No, I was just making sure you said peacocky and not something else.
Oh, no. Definitely. Yeah. I know we're talking about Japan, but no, not that one.
Oh.
But I've heard somebody was like, who do you think it is truly under the mask? Because nobody knows who this guy is. I think it's going to be, they're going to wrestle for the triangle title or the trios gate at Final Gate. That's why I don't think he wins. Because I think the guy under the mask is going to be Yuma Anzai from All Japan.
Really?
Which would be wild.
How did you conclude to that?
Well, like my first thought was it was TN Revolucion. Because it was a really tall, lanky guy. And then I was listening to Open the Voice Gate, and they were saying the same thing. They both said the same thing. We're like, instantly, we both thought it was TN Revolucion, but there's no way he could be healthy yet. And he said he was retiring anyway, so maybe it's a work and he didn't retire, and this is the return of TN Revolucion. But Shun Skywalker said, I have connections all over the earth. And he has the same build as Yuma Anzai. And Anzai's
Shun Skywalker.
It's so wild. Yeah, like, so, and it could be another cross promotion. Doi works All Japan. Takashi Yoshida, Cyber Kong, is a champion in All Japan. Why can't Ironzai come work a match? So that's what led me to Madoka Kakuta. I think it's going to be Kakuta and Shun to go to or Kakuta and Susumu to go to the final.
Interesting. Okay.
I think Kakuta beats Susumu. I don't think they pull that victory off, but I think that allows you to get a Susumu title match at like a January Korakuen though out of it, which would be huge for attendance.
I agree.
So I'm in this. So essentially,
I agree with that. Yeah, that's big potential. I mean, I think that could benefit both companies, but I think could help All Japan a little bit more down the line there.
So then we move to the other half of the bracket where we have Rita and Dragon Dia. Dia won last year. I don't think he's jobbing to Rita this quick.
His tablet's growing up, so I mean,
yeah, he is.
I think he's gonna have a pretty significant run in this King of Gate tournament.
Kai BB Hulk. I don't think BB Hulk is gonna advance. I don't think they need him out there. I think it makes more sense for a Kai Dia match. Do you agree?
I agree, but because Kai again, he's a wonder. Where at his age, he's like the Chris Jericho of Dragon Gate, where he just reinvents himself, gets in better shape, wins championships, and then reinvents himself again. So this is going to be a fun match because BB Hulk, has found a microcosm of the fountain of youth as well, working some pretty good matches when everyone thought his career was done, 10 years ago. For him to do what he's been doing the last, 7 years has been nothing but outstanding. So it should be fun.
Then we move to the other two. We have Homare and Ryoya Tanaka. I think Homare wins because, like I said, I feel like he's got a Brave Gate opportunity or run in his future, and you got to beat the champ to get it started. And I think this is a way you can beat the champ without hurting him.
Oh, I agree. But the real question, Ryan, is like, who wins if you're at a line full of women and they have to show their dance skills? Who wins between these two?
Oh, Ryoya Tanaka, I'm sure he's like Jean-Claude Van Damme in Bloodsport, where he's doing the splits to the song. This one's got to be in a potential. But we have your boy Hyo taking on Yamato.
Yamato.
I just don't know how I go against Yamato, especially in a tournament.
You know why? Because Hyo has the power of the lion and tigers. Oh my! But you can't go against Yamato. I think this will be it'll be a good second round match. For Yamato and Homare.
Yeah, I agree.
That one.
Is it Yamato Dia to go to the final four on this side?
Yes, because I think this is where Dia gets his win against that fantastic title match they had against each other last year in 2024.
Oh yeah, after he won King of Gate, because he won. That's right, he won it and Yamato beat him.
Yeah, Dia is going to get his dub, and it's going to be wonderful.
Then we have Dragon Kid against Foreign Wrestler 2, which I couldn't tell you. And then as well as Jason Lee versus KZ. I am very hyped for this one. I think we move to a Dragon Kid Jason Lee second round match, but what do you think?
I'm surprised you're going against your boy KZ.
Yeah, I am. Unfortunately.
But yeah, no, I think Jason Lee with the current gimmick against the wily vet, unless it's someone like Odyssey Jones as Foreign Wrestler number 2, with Hideki Suzuki in his corner.
Yeah, for sure.
Holding the pencil. I think that's a safe bet. But you can never count KZ out. But he's the lovable underdog that counts those L's more than those W's. So. Yeah.
You know what I always say about Josh Alexander? That's the same thing with Ben K and KZ. You just heat them up when you need somebody to do something really fun in there. Like, hey, we really need to get this guy over. Hey, let's heat you up for a couple weeks.
But us as fans, like it tears our hearts out because we want these guys to succeed, and we just know they're gonna, lose in their opportunity. Where it's so seldom that a shock, victory happens, but maybe one day.
Hey, we did get that one out of nowhere Ben K title win.
That's true.
So
that was like 6 years ago.
That was last year, wasn't it? Then he just dropped it back to Yamato.
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That was last year.
And then we get Yoshiki Kato and Mochizuki Jr. I'm going Kato with them putting a champ over on this one.
I don't know. Junior is, like I said, has leaps and bounds improved in the ring. Again, with all this talent, how could you not? But I agree with you. The champ gets the victory, so he can face foreign wrestler number 4.
Before we move into that, let me ask you this: Jason Lee, Dragon Kid. I got Jason Lee. I think they try to give him a little more run. Any disagreement on that one?
I don't know. Foreign wrestler number 2, Shadow. Maybe want to change that, but. Yeah, I don't see Dragon Kid, going. So, yeah, it's a safe bet again, Jason Lee.
Or Jason Lee over foreign wrestler. I'd take either approach.
Yeah.
And then for the last match, it's not the foreign wrestler, but it's the typical tradition that always makes for excitement. Strong Machine J takes on the Battle Royal winner of the 15 losers.
Ooh.
This is how I think Yuki Yoshioka gets back in.
Okay, that makes sense. I forgot that was the stipulation normally. So,
with all these foreign wrestlers, it's like who knows, right?
Yeah.
I think out of all the losers that we've kind of went over, I think Yuki Yoshioka is the one that gets back in, unless Monte maybe gets back in, or Ishin if whoever loses out of those. I don't.
Yeah, I was looking at Ishin, but I think Ishin's gonna beat Monte. But
or do you have Doi beat Shun, and then Shun gets back in this way?
And then it's like Shun and Yoshioka, kind of the final 2.
Yep, or
that
Shun
builds for intrigue, or Doi and yeah.
Could do see, but then again, I run into the problem where I don't think Shun makes it because. Why would you have Shun beat, if it's the way I have it, beat Kakuta when you're trying to save that? So it's got to be Yoshioka. Not only I think is it going to be Yoshioka, but I think Yoshioka's going to beat Kato. I think he's going to beat Jason Lee, and I think he's going to beat Yamato and get his win back finally from Yamato.
Wow, you think it's long-term storytelling like that, huh?
And then I think Yoshioka's going to beat Kakuta in the finals.
Ooh.
And then they rubber match at Final Gate from this tournament because they'll go 1-1 in the tournament.
Yep.
I think that's how I'm booking it.
Book it. Let's go. Let's see. But we'll find out November 6th. Dragon Gate Network.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Coming in hot for that show. Alex, do you want to go Noah or New Japan?
Let us go New Japan.
King of Pro Wrestling. Interestingly fun show. Some downs, some ups. I tell you, the last 3 matches I enjoyed. The opener was tremendous. I can kind of just run through here, jump in where you had got anything. Opening match, Siori defeats Sari for the IWGP Women's Championship. Beats her with an assault driver. This is everything you want from those two.
The headbutts, the pile drivers, the suplexes. Holy shit. Again, I said, wow, this match is the rivalry of the year, not the Sari and Shiri match. But another match we will talk about later on here. But watching this the other night, I was just on the edge of my seat. I kind of knew Shiri was probably going to, get the victory. But Sari, man, again, like you said,
those
how does
clubs?
the E and NXT drop the ball? But those headbutts, man. That's what I learned from Puro this weekend. The matches I watched, it was just Headbutt Central again. It's like everyone forgot about Shibata Okada. They're like, all right, enough time has passed. Let's all utilize headbutts.
Yeah. That was 8.5 years ago. Well, those when she was backing Shuri up to the rope and she's overhand clubbing her in the chest.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so. And once again, the New Japan crowd didn't really react to the women, but boy, by the end of it, they were into that fucking match.
Yeah, they won them over, and just I don't know who Saya Kamatami is going to get at the Dome, as she announced she will be at Wrestle Kingdom in a Stardom Championship match.
It's got to be profiled, man. You got to put her in a high profile.
But man, like, you got to get somehow these two on that card and showcase them. Not in a match against each other, but maybe you throw in a few Stardom matches, since that has been the more consistent promotion in Japan. But yeah, this opener, like you said, the crowd got hot. Probably about the halfway mark when they were just physically beating the shit out of each other. Strong style at its finest, and bravo. This went notebook, as I would say if I were you. But
that went 4 1/4. I went. It was tremendous. Then we got David Finlay, Taiji Ishimori, and Clark Connors defeating the team of Titan, Shingo Takagi, and Hiromu Takahashi, the unaffiliated, as they call them. Finley does his knee gimmick to Teton. I can't remember what he calls it, so I just wrote down knee gimmick.
Well done.
Drilla Maloney in a street fight defeats Sonata with 2 Drilla killers.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
What did Sonata wear to the ring?
Oh, God. So Sonata comes out to the ring in this silver bodysuit with those finger glasses on. And the silver bodysuit is just like miniature, like shiny mirror, like silver pieces. So he looks like a fucking spaceman Teletubby, all the lights shining off of him. He takes the glasses off and he just like stupidly stares at the camera. Then the lights go out and his theme starts playing again. And he's standing at the top of like where Jimmy Uso or Jay Uso would come to the ring in a whole different outfit. So it really wasn't Sonata that came to the ring. I was like, what the fuck? Am I high or what's going on here? So that was cool.
Yeah.
They were going real good in this street fight, brawling, having just a great match. And then when the ref gets bumped, they decide to have House of Torture run out. It's like, it's a street fight. Why did they have to wait until the ref? And then they did all the shit. Then thankfully, they cleared the ring out, and then Drilla Maloney busted Sonata with the guitar, and then gave him the Drilla kill and won.
Oh, nice.
So it was fine, but they were going to a pretty fun match. Then of course they got to do the normal House of Torture shit. But then we see the return of Hiroki Goto tagging with Bishamon partner Yoshihashi and Yo, taking on TMDK's Hartley Jackson, Kosei Fujita, and Ryohei Oiwa. Goto with a GTR to Hartley Jackson to get the victory. It was a fine 2.5-star match, but nothing to go home about. Good to see Goto back in the ring. Then we had TV title match. El Phantasmo and Hiroshi Tanahashi goes to a time limit draw. So that was a fine match, 15 minutes. Then Oleg Boltin loses the never openweight title to Evil via Everything is Evil.
Oh, gross.
And I checked Cage Match, and the only thing on Cage Match announced is Evil versus Aaron Wolf, and it's on Cage Match now. So that means it's going to get announced pretty quick, I think. So,
but at least it's for a title. At least it's for
it doesn't say it's a never title match. Just says that
it's got to be a never match.
Let's hope. But then we get to the business end of the show. I went over notebook on all 3 of these. 4 1/4. We get the Knockout Brothers, Yuto, Ice, and Oscar defeating the team of Shota Umino and Yuya Uemura with their tombstone running penalty kick combo, whereas Oscar does a running tombstone, and as he's doing the running tombstone, Yuto Ice runs and penalty kicks the guy's back of his head before he hits the ground. It's fucking awesome.
Wow. I gotta watch that.
These guys are green. but they hit super hard. They sell really well. They have fire, and they're heels with charisma. And Yuto Ice went from being the biggest dork I've ever seen since B Squared to being one of the swaggiest dudes that me and Kyle have ever talked about in a wrestling match. This dude does this like thumb up, and then he bends his fingers, but does the middle finger like the old, fuck you type thing. And he shakes his hand back and forth, and he wears like a grill, and he's got a bandana tied around his head, and he's got chains, and he holds his crotch, and he's rapping to the ring. It's so ridiculous, but he's so bought in. It works. And these guys, as much as I said they're green, they're finally pushing somebody new. And these guys are grabbing it by the balls, and they're doing... I tell you what, these guys got fire out of Shota Umino. Like, they were stiffing the fuck out of him, and he's just kind of doing his thing. Yuto Ice picks him up, and he spits in his face while holding his head. And then Umino hits him so hard, and Umino starts screaming, and I'm like... Oh my God, they got fire out of Umino. Like, this match rocks.
Nice.
And Yuya Uemura, who I love, he's my favorite of them young guys, I think. Just a really good match. 4 1/4. These guys are getting better. I really hope they run the table in World Tag League if they're in it.
Oh, well, I mean, that makes sense. It seems like they're the only competent tag team, maybe Bishamon.
Mm-hmm. And you could bring in some team that isn't part of the tag league to be their opponents at the Dome.
Mm-hmm.
You could bring in Fletcher and Davis. Bring in Austin
you know
Open.
who it's gonna be. You know who it's gonna be.
Who?
Good Brothers, baby.
Perfect. I think they could have a great match with these guys because it'd be just an easy working little fun match. And I think Machine Gun and Yuto, I love your booking. That would be a super, and they would have no problem taking the fall, and they'd make them look as good as they could.
Machine Gun's gonna be so over when he walks through that ramp.
Oh man, I'm gonna be hyped as fuck.
Make it happen.
Then we had, oh boy, I went 4 3/4 on this one. Hell yeah. I liked the first one slightly more, but Nate said the same thing, and I said, I don't fault your brother. To me, it's like the Okada Omega matches those years. Yeah. These are great. Yota Tsuji, Gabe Kidd, and he beats him with a fucking Boston Crab to take the title.
Ooh. Oh my gosh! There was a spot where you thought Gabe Kidd broke his neck yet again. It seems like every match he has that where he goes and misses. It's the turnbuckle, does the Shawn Michaels thing, lands on his back and the back of his neck and head. Pretty brutal. And I was spoiled, through the early Facebook. Shame on me on the winner, and I was like, oh no, this is how they get Yota Tsuji to beat Gabe Kidd here. But no, then they went 20 extra minutes after that, and it was, again, pile drivers after, genome spears and, cool entrances, and Gabe Kidd saying, fuck you, as he's delivering drop kick after drop kick. This was just a battle of the future of Piro, and Gabe Kidd should hopefully be a part of this big picture. If he doesn't, make it stateside, but it looks like he's doing the dualness, pretty well with his Death Rider stint in AEW. But Gabe Kidd, my God, I mean, he shot up, as well as Yota Tsuji, as he's had notebooks, as you would say, at least 5 matches in 2025 that I've seen from Tsuji, and Gabe Kidd was already on my top 10 list. But these guys put out a banger. I liked it a little bit more than the main event, and I really loved this main event as I was watching it through that first hour of the show. But this was a clash of the titans, the gladiators, the hard hitters, the fresh meat, if you will, and they were all out for blood, and the respect afterwards, and the curiosity and the head scratching. Do explain, Ryan, what we saw in the ring after these two had beat the living shit out of each other.
So, they've been feuding since they were young boys together. So, out comes the War Dogs, and I thought that the War Dogs were going to jump Gabe Kidd, and I was like, perfect. Gabe Kidd loses up, he goes to the Dome, and he faces the winner of Takeshi the Sabre. I love it. But then all of a sudden you see all the Hontai come out, the unaffiliated or whatever they want to call them, and they're all out there, and I think Daiki Nagai's out there too. And David Finlay just extends his hand to Yota Tsuji, and they shake hands, and suddenly we see Bullet Club and all of these unaffiliated, no faction guys start shaking hands and like becoming friends. And I have no idea what the fuck is going on here. I said to Alex, maybe this is trying to be a big united front to rid the company of House of Torture, which if that happens, that'll be my feud of the year.
That's storyline.
Yeah, even if it's a month and a half, it's the feud of the year for me because I know the home team isn't losing that one. But just bizarre. And I tell you what, this show made me really care a lot more going into the Dome than I had the day before I watched this show. Because now I want to know what's gonna this to me is the most intriguing angle in pro wrestling right now. Because I couldn't tell you what's gonna happen. You lay another one in front of me, I could probably 5 times out of 6, I probably can nail that booking right, or 9 times out of 10, or whatever you want to say. I can't tell you what they're gonna do. I don't even have an idea.
I would love if they put Dick to go in a catapult and shot his ass all the way to I don't give a
Michinoku Pro.
Sure, why not? Ice Ribbon. Let's get him. No, maybe not. No.
No, I kind of like Ice Ribbon.
Are better. Yeah. But
you know what?
This was
Dick Togo should go be a trainer at the fucking Performance Center.
No, God, no. Wasn't he for like a second?
No, that was
Anyways,
Kendo Kashin. Dragon Soldier.
I will say,
Beam.
oh God, I forgot about that. Shout out Ring of Honor. What I will say is I love the English commentary, especially even though I've been watching New Japan for probably 10 years now. It still helps me with some of the stuff, but what it really did was the emphasis of their confusion of what was happening, I thought even brought the storyline even more. So I'm sure the Japanese announce team was kind of doing the same thing. But I love the questions that were asked. The Charlton saying, "What is going on?" And so yeah, it was a lot of craziness, and I don't know. When I saw Shingo just shaking hands with like the opposition, I'm like, what is happening? But I don't know. I'm along for the ride. I'm along for the ride.
If we get if they're like, hey, let's work together, and they decide to like make a team to do the World Tag League together, put Drilla Maloney and Shingo Tagagi together as a tag team.
Mix it up.
Holy shit, would they be tight as hell together?
What if, like you were just saying, maybe they take out Evil and his hooligans. What if they do this at Wrestle Kingdom? What if they get Aaron Wolf the belt, and then Aaron Wolf is their leader, their guy?
Yeah. And then you give him a faction right off the bat, yeah.
Yeah, they just kind of get his, they support him. They don't have to be together all the time because, again, we don't need another LWO. But it's just something like, hey, we got you. And then, they could say down the line, that's how you can kind of get title contenders. Like, hey, we took out your opponents for you, but hey, why don't you give me a shot? So some interesting things could happen from this. But, yeah, I guess we'll wait and see.
Yeah, I really think that if they fuck up this Aaron Wolf thing, they're going to be set back farther than anybody even thought they were going to be. Because you don't have Tanahashi retiring next year like you do this year to sell your tickets. And you've proven you don't have the balls to push Umino, Uemura, Tsuji, or Gabe Kidd or anybody. And you riled your fans up by going with the outsider from 2 other companies.
Mm-hmm. So
there's a lot going against you right now.
Oh boy.
And Aaron Wolf is there to sell tickets. With I guarantee you, it's not just the Tana thing; it's the Aaron Wolf intrigue. You know, I mean,
people are buying tickets for Aaron Wolf.
I mean, I bet you most people are going to say Tanahashi, but I mean, you can't deny that the amount that people are talking about with this guy, that he's you know, I mean, this dude, he got a gold medal at the Summer Olympics in 2024. Like this is Kurt Angle. He just was a judoka guy.
I suppose, yeah.
You know, like you look at it in. He got he got the gold medal in his weight class. In the mixed team, he got a silver, and he got a silver again in the mixed team in Paris. He won the gold medal in Budapest in 2017. In the Asian Games in 2022, the other one in 2021. And I mean, this dude has just won gold medal. He's a 5th Dan black belt. Like, he's a 5th degree black belt.
Do they somehow get a rub out of for him from Kurt Angle?
That'd be wild.
And then Angle becomes
what?
his manager, and then he just Angle slams him in like 6 months, or if it's WWE, 2 weeks.
Did he? This is. I think Aaron Wolf was one of the guys that came out there when they ran them off. Yeah, he was out there after even won the never openweight title from Bolton Oleg. Members of House of Torture continued to assault on Oleg until Wolf made the save. Wolf tossed members of House of Torture with judo throws. Okay, why did I not see that?
So I was like, what do you mean?
Oh my God. So this is why I had no idea why, like, it was like, oh, news to me when I heard that. When Bullet Club left and with all the dudes or whatever, I skipped to the main event. I didn't watch it. I didn't see it happen.
Oh. That's why they shouldn't have it on chapters. Way to go, New Japan World.
Can you hear the commentary?
No.
Okay. I'm watching the segment right now where he's just out there flipping everyone around and shit. Oh, yeah. Now I know exactly why I didn't see it. It wasn't the thing that I was just talking about. That would happen after the Bolton Oleg match. I was so fucking disgusted I ended the match and just left. That's why I didn't see it. Now okay. Cool. Okay, well, that was, at least they got it. That pop, I just heard the pop. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I guess you're right. It's gonna be big.
You gotta nail that. So, but they nailed the right decision. 2 power drive knees. Konosuke Takeshita defeat Zack Sabre Jr. to be the second G1 member or G1 winner to cash in at King of Pro Wrestling and win the title to go into the Dome.
Who was the first?
Zack Sabre last year.
Zack Sabre Jr., I know.
Pew, 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 pew.
So is that interesting to you? Like, is the G1 just meant for nothing now? Is it just another Money in the Bank and whatever AEW does with the big golden rings?
Like, with the Sonic rings? I like after people called them the Sonic rings, they just went to a briefcase.
Yeah.
Or,
Thanks, Scorpio Sky.
They went to a contract. They're like, fuck it. The only positive is it's not a cash in. It's a I'm invoking my right to challenge you. I hate that less because it's not a cash in, so it doesn't like come in and get a 2-minute cheap win. Now we get to go, ooh, he's cashing in. We know it's going to happen. It's a title match. Like when Cena did it. I liked when Cena did it because he did that.
Oh, man.
So I wish the G1 still would go to Wrestle Kingdom like the Rumble goes to Mania. But let me say this. Somebody used this as an example, and and they swayed me with this. Would you rather see Sabre, or as it was Takeshita, invoking to wrestle at King of Pro Wrestling for the title, and then you have 2 months to build to the Dome? Or would you rather watch those fucking briefcase matches again?
The Dome.
So where you have the build, like with the Takeshita winning, now we build to the Dome?
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the caveat I look at, that I do agree that those, when they started doing the right to face the IWG title at the Dome, that shit was stupid, because that's just a generic Money in the Bank, and you guys, they look like idiots they literally ripped it off. At least this way, it's this is my shot, and then you move on to the Dome. So if I got to go between, I don't have to see briefcases, but it doesn't get you to the Dome, I can deal with it. I would prefer they don't have to defend the title shot. I would just prefer they get the shot at the Dome. And it's a matter of, can the champion still has to get there, though.
Yeah, because they rarely have it. They have, what, like 2 matches before the Dome?
Yeah,
like King of Pro Wrestling.
And then Power Struggle.
Else. Yeah, Power Struggle, thank you.
So I think that's just the way I look at it. Is I'll sacrifice that to not have those briefcase matches.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to adapt to a broader audience, but I mean, New Japan. It's what got you to the dance, and you know, we don't need a play-in matchup, Final Four, this point, that point, you know, in the G1 anymore. Just do it like it always has been, but you know, it is what it is. At least you saw what happened after Takeshita won, which I did see a Takeshita flag, or a giant towel, whatever. I think a banner or whatnot.
Oh, yep.
Since he got booed or when he won the G1, so at least he has one fan in Japan. As he showed his disdain of the New Japan fans with his promo afterwards, after winning, but said that he will prove them wrong or die trying. And who came out to, you know, and he was like, hey, I want a challenger. Who's going to try to take this belt from me?
Hiroki Goto.
That's right. Looking like he just stepped off a Hollywood film set.
It's Konosuke Takeshita's first defense is Hiroki Goto at the Hiroshi Tanahashi Final Homecoming on November 2nd. Yota Tsuji defends the global title against Tanahashi on that show.
Tanahashi.
And then
Does Tanahashi win?
No.
He doesn't have gold walking into the Dome.
No, I'm going to say no.
You don't get a freak roll up and then Tanahashi and him again rematch at the Dome?
No. No. And then the finals of the Super Junior Tag League. I think what I texted you is going to happen. I think Yota Tsuji's going to come out after the match, and he's going to challenge Takeshita title at the Dome.
Man,
and
that would be nice.
And then I think they take 2 months and go, can we ride Takeshita and make money, and is he going to draw for us? And if they get cold feet, then they basically have to crown Yota Tsuji the winner. And you have to finally push a young guy. That way they can basically force their hand if they're too scared with Takeshita to finally pick a young guy. So that's what I think is going to happen. And then I think they're going to get rid of they'll get rid of the Global Heavyweight Championship.
Ooh, take that, Kenny Omega spray.
So be fun though.
Yota Tsuji, 32. He's not that young, but I guess all the classes in their 30s, right? Well, Ren Narita's 27.
Well, so
Yuya Yamura though, he's an old man.
Think of where was I going with this? Where's his name?
Great Khan, only 34 years old. That is surprising.
So Tetsuya Naito is 43 years old. 10 years ago, we were like, they got to put the title on him at some point, right? They can't wait too long. That was when he was 33. Took him 6 years. And then, we waited too long. So, Yota Tsuji, he could go into the Dome with a chance to win the title. The way I looked at it, he's 32. Are you going to fucking Naito the guy and wait too long and not push this guy too? So, like...
Sadly, the pattern's there, Ryan.
Yeah.
They've done this too many times, but let's hope not.
What's your thoughts here?
Oh, sorry, I was just coughing. Yeah, ladies and germs, unfortunately, I have to go here pretty soon. I think Ryan's going to cover the AEW Wrestle Dream, which, if everything comes to a plan, I will be in house. We'll be watching it rather late on Saturday, but I had plans to get to work really early, leave work really early, and then head my way to the city to see Paul McCartney at U.S. Bank Stadium. Yes, Sir Paul. So I will say, let's talk a little Noah. I have a few questions. This was a fantastic show. Again, the production was wonderful by Wrestle Universe here. The Cowboy is back, I guess. We'll get to that in a second. Tanahashi just, elevating Kaito Kiyomiya.
Oh, it was so nice.
It's a big fuck you to Muto, not Muta, but Muto there. Eita and Hiromu Takahashi was everything I wanted. And, before the match, I was like, God, this match would have been so dope 7 years ago, 6 years ago, even though I don't know if it could have happened, per se, during that era. But as these mature junior legends of Puro clashed in a Noah ring as Hiromu Takahashi is holding their championship gold, facing a two-time GHC junior heavyweight champion, by the way, which is crazy because I was like, yeah, Eita is a Noah guy, but I was like, fuck that. He's RED for life. Shout out to DG. But this match was a notebook. This was a Cena Styles-esque matchup for me, Ryan. This was like, they built out the hits. They couldn't do some of the crazy shit that they could. But man, those Imperial Unos that Eita was delivering to Hiromu was crazy.
Dives?
Yeah, oh god, perfect. They were pitching because it wasn't a Dragon Gate ring. There's space from jumping over the apron 20 feet away. And not a bevy of chairs because there's a lot of space and a different arena than what Dragon Gate usually performed in when he would do that type of shenanigans there. But
let me ask you this real quick.
Yeah.
You mentioned that other match. Which match? So if you had to star rate Hiromu Eita, what would you star give it? What would be your star rating if you actually rated matches?
If I rated that match, I would probably say that was a 5-star for me.
What was Styles Cena?
Honestly, from the viewing, I would say that was like a 4.5.
Okay, that's all. If you were gonna be like, oh, they were both like 4.25, I was gonna go, I physically that's where I couldn't get to because that match was so much better overall the way it was worked. But man, those tropes made it just as fun. You see, does that make sense now? I'm trying to make people not hate me after my grade. It was.
Yeah, what were you, ESPN?
Yeah. No, that guy was like, "Fuck all you guys. I don't care what you say." He's doing boxing reviews and shit now too. But yeah, it was like, God, it was such a fun match. Robo Eita. And then when Eita didn't win.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't believe it. And then he hits him with a time bomb from the middle rope. I was like, okay.
Oh my gosh.
See ya.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's it. He's not walking away with the title.
Yeah.
Hasta mañana. Like, shit.
But it was just they didn't know the word quit until, like you said, a time bomb, from a top. Finally took out Eita, but it was just so surreal to see these guys. When I saw the picture of them in the ring, when Eita was in New Japan and Hiromu was in Noah, which is again crazy to say. It was like, huh? This is like Bizarro Land. What is this, a forbidden door? And then when they were like, oh, this is a championship match, I was like, this is a dome match, or this is a New Year's, Noah New Year's show match. But I think this was good. I think they're gonna hold that rematch probably for a couple of more months.
Maybe they do it at Noah the New Year.
Maybe, and Aita gets the win, but
Yeah.
I would not be against a rematch of any capacity. I just love, again, this version of these two, because they put their bodies through hell for so many years, where they've doubled their ring gears with the stuff that they did in that ring, in each of their respective rings, and bravo to these gentlemen in this era for them. Speaking of eras, I got to do a shout out to Minoru Suzuki and Ironhead Fujita. That, oh my God, I don't even know who won. I just loved enjoying
double count out
physicality. Yeah, it was a double count out. That's right, it was a double count out. Thank you, because they just kept beating the shit out of each other. So give us that rematch again. Let's do that. Let's run that back at New Year's.
That was one of the funnest 2.5-star matches I've ever given.
Yeah. And again, that's like not even for me, like I wouldn't grade it. It was just a fun. Like,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
a match where,
Exactly.
like, if I was bored or if I had to show someone something, it was like, let's watch this match. We have 6 minutes.
I was going to say to you, too, the Hiromu Eita match was like the Ho-Ho Loon, because it was the New Japan wrestler against the Dragon Gate wrestler in a Noah ring for a Noah title, kind of like the Chinese PlayStation with the Japanese wrestling from the American RF video site. Like the whole, like...
Oh man, but yeah, no, that was great. The junior GHC junior tag team championship.
Oh, that
match.
was awesome. Daiki Odashima with the roll up on Dragonbane.
On Dragonbane.
Oh,
my
man.
God.
Once again, push the young guy. Look what he did. The place went nuts when he won. And my God, this is the first time I've really enjoyed Daga.
Like Daga? Yeah, I was about to say, and it made me enjoy and like Daga. So kudos. And this was a fun one. Daga was not annoying. He was wrestling. He was telling, like he was gone half the match. I mean, let's be real. He'd get beat up, and he would just be on the outside of the ring for like majority of it. But that's the highlight, the partner.
Maybe he's just a really good heel. That's why we didn't like him. And now we're like, oh, he's a face, and we like him.
Yeah, and we're like, hey, hooray! But we get a big return. Again, Ryan, we'll get a little bit more in depth, but woo, giddy up, cowboy. What the hell, man? NXT Zone, okay, so the main event, Kenta defended, the GSC Championship, against the winner of, what was the N1?
The N1, yep, N1 victory.
Masaki Tamiya.
Yeah.
Who, what is he, the Black Alpha?
The Black Chairman.
The Black Chairman. Shout out to Derek Fury. That is his nickname.
And like you said, Cowboy Hat, Yoshiki Inamura is suddenly sitting there, and the crowd got hot for it.
Yeah, he's looking like he's from Texas, even though he was in Florida. I don't know. Yankee blue jeans, I suppose. But
Yankee blue jeans.
Kitamiya Kenta put on a battle. But everything you said last week's show, and this was the time where, like, you didn't pull the trigger. But I get it with Inamura's return, Yoshiki Inamura's return. It kind of builds that next face opponent for Kenta. But again, why do you build up the Black Chairman so well? Again, years after another fantastic build back in 2020, in 2021. But did Noah make the right call?
I think this is a lot like the whole reason Ben K won the title, so they didn't have to do the Yamato beating Shun or whatever type shit, and then like the Passover to save. I feel like they're gonna push Inamura, and I think Inamura is gonna beat Kenta at the New Year's show. I think when they learned or decided that they wanted to bring back Inamura to presumably take the strap, I think they decided, why have Inamura beat Kitamiya for the title when he can beat Kenta and we don't have to burn Kitamiya Inamura? We can save that for a year out. So for that reason, I don't disagree with it. Because you can do Kitamiya and Ozawa without a belt.
So yeah, we still have Ozawa.
So you can still do, even though Ozawa was running around like a heel earlier in the match, in the show, with Shoot and Takashi Sugiura, but which was really funny, by the way.
Oh, fun, yeah.
But I just think if you're gonna go that way with Masaki Tamiya, you could. Oh my God! Why didn't I get this? I wonder if the guy under the mask in Dragon Gates is Ozawa.
No.
I mean,
was he pulling Seth Rollins?
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just Gabe Kithert, where they just didn't want to put him through the rest of the tournament.
Possibly.
I'm working myself into a shoot here now, but for that reason, if you're gonna put the title on Inamura, I would prefer that he beats Kenta and not Kitamiya in the first defense Kitamiya would make.
Agreed. Yeah, that's why when they kept showcasing, Inamura, I was like, okay. It makes sense. It doesn't make me happy. Kenta looked good again. It was the story of the GTS. Him trying to get big ass, Kitamiya, the Black Chairman, the Black Bulk, if you will. But Kitamiya, showcasing that power looked good. This was fun, but again, it was just a sense of but for storyline purposes, it was successful.
Yeah. Just taking 30 seconds here. Junta Miyawaki defeats Kai Fujimura with the Sunshine Driver. I believe Miyawaki was the one who came out after the Hiromu Eita match and said, I'll take the damn title from him if you can't.
Yeah.
And get in his face. Galeno and Harutoki from All Rebellion defeated Manabu Soya and Yuto Kikuchi. We saw Charlie Dempsey and Harlem Lewis from NXT defeat Jack Morris and Ulka Sasaki, where I have decided that Charlie Dempsey fucks, and he got the best match I've ever seen out of Ulka Sasaki. Jack Morris rules. Harlem Lewis is greener than goose shit, but he's intense. But I want to see more Charlie Dempsey outside of WWE.
Yeah. He's showcasing. He's looking like a chip off the old block.
Shun Skywalker and Takashi Sugiura defeated Hayata and Tetsuya Endo when Sugiura hit the angle slam on Hayata. By the way, Dempsey won via Regalplex on Ulka, which was great.
Yes.
Dragon Bane and Alpha Wolf, as we said, lost the titles to Daga and Daihyo Dashima. Double count out with Ironhead and Minoru Suzuki. Kaito Kiyomiya with the Skywalker elbow after a high fly flow from Tanahashi pins Keno as they defeat Keno and Marufuji. Hiromu with the middle rope time bomb, as we said, against Eita, and Kenta with a GTS on Masaki Tamiya. Really fun top to bottom show with Wrestle Odyssey. And I'm going to be honest with you, Alex, I think enough people are going to be previewing Wrestle Dynasty or Dream. I didn't even remember the fucking name. I'm sorry. But I didn't even, like I said, I was speeding through Dynamite so I could try to be caught up. I don't really have a preparation for it. I think I'm just going to call it with you. There's enough places that are going to have the review. I'm sorry, guys. If you really wanted us to review it or preview it, we'll give you a great review. We'll give you an hour or something on next week. That'll be that'll be the opening thing we'll do. Is we'll go straight to AEW and save Piro.
Who knows if it's 2:30 in the morning and we're still up? Maybe we'll just do a live review.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, maybe we'll just give you more content like we've been doing.
If not, oh no, you have the draft on Sunday. Otherwise, I was going to say otherwise Sunday.
Well, we can double book it too.
We'll figure it out.
And otherwise, with what Alex just said, maybe if he's free Sunday, we may do that G1 draft for you guys.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll probably come with something different. So you might get 2-3 shows this weekend. Who knows what's going on? So we're going to come back. We're energized. We're motivated. We're loving the fact that you guys are supportive with it. We've seen the numbers. I showed Alex the back numbers finally that I've been meaning for him to get to. So everything is appreciated. So I want to keep giving content.
Tell your friends. Hopefully, I'll feel better and not a piece of shit here as to this show. It'll get better. I'll be a better than Andrade by next show.
Alex, we will potentially see you on Saturday, and we will catch y'all with WrestleCast 243 next Thursday, presumably, and another draft this weekend, and maybe some All-In. Or I'm looking at the All-In thing you sent me with Jack Perry. I didn't mean to say All-In, but that made me laugh really flipping hard. With Wrestle Dream, excuse me. So, Alex, as always, we'll see y'all later.
Say good night, Ryan.
Good night, Ryan.